Hey-ho, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Shadowrunnin on Empty, where we fill your mind with delicious, sweet lore of the Sixth World. I am your host, as usual, Easy Mode, the man that writes the stories, that dives into the lore, that brings you the juicy facts. And as always, most of the time, I am joined by my intrepid crew of fellow Shadowrun enthusiasts. We have with us tonight none other than the cost supporter himself, Captain Cozy.
Oh no. Oh God, you just for the record, I was stuck on you saying juicy facts.
Mm-hmm.
I just have the idea of a shirt that reads "Juicy Fact Master," and I don't know why. But you take that with you what you will. But once again, the cost will rise again. Woo.
Woo. Don't worry, I'm writing Juicy Fact Master down right now.
Fantastic.
So that we can workshop that shirt later.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And of course, this podcast would not be complete without our other participant, the man, the myth, the Dunkelzahn supporter, Austin. Austin, how are you doing tonight?
I have to imagine that if we have a shirt that says juicy on it, it also needs to have like a lipstick kiss print on it too, right? Like maybe a little bit of leopard print to go with it as well.
Apron that says "Kiss the Juicy Fact Master."
Oh my god!
I think that would be pretty good on like a beanie, because then you're complimenting your brain, right? And it's like
yes,
goes on your head.
I like this.
Yeah,
yes.
we say the lore is for your brain to chew on. So
it's another way of saying you're really good at trivia. Is you're a juicy fact master?
I want to make business cards now. That's just all it says is just my name, and then underneath it, juicy fact master.
Oh my god!
No email, no phone number, no nothing. Just that. Just walk around and hand those out.
It says all it needs people. To.
Yeah, it'll have embossed lettering and
it's embossed.
Oh my god! Can't believe
impeccable.
Can't believe that his business card is better than mine.
I mean, juicy fact master. How does he come up with this stuff?
That's got to be like one of the most unsexual setting sexually charged scenes in a movie of all time, right?
Oh yeah.
Ever. Yes.
All right, cool.
I agree. Does that mean that you can also walk into any trivia game night and just name your team Juicy and hand out those cards?
Oh,
I love that.
Or wait outside if you don't have a team, and if you're trying to get yourself recruited to a team, you just hand them out to people. This is me. I'm the Juicy Fact Master.
This is my application.
Yeah.
That is genius.
You'd like me to join your team? Not even just a question. You would like me to.
Yeah, I bring the juiciest of facts.
Just for you.
Just for you. So great. So great. Well, speaking of juicy facts, why don't we go over what tonight's juicy topic will be?
Man, bingo for how many times we could say GC, take a drink.
I feel like that's what's going to happen in this episode. I don't know why, but foreshadowing.
Oh, you know why.
Prepare your livers.
For the juicy.
For the juice.
Prepare for the juice. Okay, all right.
The juice is
hey, but easy. The real question is it worth the squeeze?
Oh, it's good.
You know what? This one will be, because it's a lesser known or researched kind of bit of tidbit lore.
Oh, well, that sounds interesting. What are we talking about tonight? Easy. Segues are weird.
Segues work, right? Yeah, we're doing it somehow, some way. We are going to be talking about a little known conspiratorial group known as the Order of the Temple. However, you might know them by what they're also called, the Knights Templar.
The Temple of the Lord?
Well, I mean, they are God-fearing people, and it is going to be connected to the Catholic Church. We're going back, boys, back to the Holy Land.
So does that mean that Shadowrunners are actually just the Assassin Brotherhood?
I mean, I'm sure you could build an Assassin Brotherhood if you want to go a full Assassin's
And I
Creed.
do.
But hey, like I was saying, come on, let's
I feel
crusading
like
intensifies, boys.
Yeah.
I feel like Flounder was one hidden blade away from being an assassin
That's-
character.
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
yeah.
big facts.
I like
big
I like the
facts.
idea of the cinematic from Assassin's Creed 1, but it's this giant troll that is very much not blending with the crowd.
With like a biker mask doing
And
the
just
doing the
throwing people
falcon
aside.
dive.
Yeah.
He does the falcon dive into a hay cart, and the cart just explodes when he hits it.
And he's doing the 3-point stances when
Yeah.
he lands, of course.
Superhero landing, guys. Superhero
Yeah,
landing.
truly.
I'm gonna do it. Well, before we get all the way into the Knights Templar, we'll have to mention another order from Catholicism in the Catholic Church, and that is the Order of Saint Sylvester. This is the public face that's coming out of the Catholic Church in the Sixth World. The Order of Saint Sylvester is a Catholic ordained order of monks and priests called Sylvesterins that is dedicated to the use of beneficial magic, promoting magical awareness within the church, meaning the Catholic Church, and to investigate magical phenomena. It is primarily composed of the awakened, but also does have several members who simply are knowledgeable about magical arts and paranormal critters, and the occasional probably crackpot in there as well that is all into magical conspiracies.
Checks out.
It does, right?
You're required one for any conspiratorial group.
I also feel like they missed the mark. Instead of calling them the Sylvesterines, they could have just called them Slies.
Ooh.
That would have been pretty good.
Big facts, guys. But then they would have had to have membership in the Brotherhood of Monks, and it had to kind of talk like this,
Adrian.
I like to imagine that this is just like a secret organization of all of the different characters that Sylvester Stallone's ever played over his career.
Oh boy.
They've all come to life.
Saint Adrian over here.
Saint Adrian.
Nobody invited John tonight, right? He went kind of crazy last meeting.
He kept talking about something with the rest of the statues all starting to bleed. Something like first blood. I don't know. If you're keeping up at home, this is the part where we make a lot of Sylvester Stallone movie references.
This is the part. I thought this was just ingrained in what we do here.
This is what we do here. But that is what that order is dedicated to, and it's the public face. So they're the ones that are out there saying magic is okay. It isn't the devil's work.
Where was that communication, during the 1600s? What the hell? Sure are late to the boat on that one.
Well, magic wasn't proven real in the 1600s like it is in the Sixth World.
All I hear
that sounds like excuses.
Yeah.
I'm hearing a lot of excuses. Easy.
As a cost sympathizer, let me tell you, that's kind of far-fetched.
Oh wow. Look,
yeah.
I'm
as a cost sympathizer, it's definitely the devil.
I am just I'm providing you historical facts, okay?
I'm squinting suspiciously.
Well, we had to mention, we're just going to call them the Slies the rest of the show, because
that's not going to be confusing at all.
No, that's not confusing. If you're paying attention, it's fine.
Yeah,
and everyone here is paying attention.
Yes, of course. Why wouldn't you be? What few people are actually aware of in the Sixth World is that the Slies are used as a front for another far more militant group hiding amongst the church. And that is the Order of the Temple. They are also known as the Reborn Templars or the Knights Templars.
Who are notoriously a chill organization that have never really done anything bad.
Yeah, Crusades, what?
Yeah, that's, hey. Listen, they were there first. I don't know. They had a flag, dude. I don't know what you want me to say.
Yes. Yes. Many of the highest ranking members of the Sylvesterines, the Slies order, have taken vows as members of the new order of the temple. And they feel that these vows are far more binding than those that they took for the Order of St. Sylvester.
I got so lost in the sauce that I thought that you were replacing a character's name with Sylvester, and I'm so sold on this narrative that I'm like, yeah, you know, I wish he would tell us what his actual name is.
So with the Knights Templar, the original Templars back in the Crusade era of our actual history answered only to the Pope. And very much in the same vein, that holds true to the new Templars. Is it easier to say new Templars or Sixth World Templars to be less confusing?
I
New
like
Templars is
new.
fine.
Yeah.
Okay. And therefore, with papal backing, who in the church would dare say anything against the Templars?
Wait a minute, Easy. How many people?
There is only one Pope.
Yeah, that's what they want you to think.
But what about second Pope?
Yeah, what about Lizard Pope? Nobody ever talks about Lizard Pope.
No, that's
And then I'm
that's
the
for another
crazy one.
episode. That's
Personally,
for another
my
episode.
favorite Pope.
And then I'm the weird one, but that's fine.
To put a sort of timeline to this, the new Knights Templar were reformed just after the Euro Wars.
Oh, okay.
Until then, the church's sovereign territory had consisted of Vatican City.
As it does.
During the Euro Wars, when Italy fragmented into the many smaller city-states that it is still today, let me actually confirm it still is. That's a place that I haven't done a whole lot of research on in the Sixth World.
The Vatican?
The Italian Confederation.
Oh, I see.
Because Italy follows the same way that Germany does, where the entire country breaks down into smaller city-states.
I see. They're like, well, you know, the Vatican did it, so what if the rest of us just...
Yeah.
They do not reform. They stay independent city-states all the way up to the current timeline. So still holds true. The Pope took quick action during this time where they fragmented and was able to gain control of many of the territories that once made up the papal states. This happened very quickly and made some of the clergy members wonder how the Pope was able to do this, because it required troop action, and they don't know where he was able to muster an army so quickly.
And when they asked him about it, his response was, I'm a frickin' Pope.
I am the Pope.
They're like, you know what? Fair.
Since that time, the founders of the new Knights Templar decided that two things are true.
Nothing is real and everything's forbidden. Okay, moving on.
First rule, or first revelation: to save the inhabitants of the earth from themselves, the world must once again be under the control of the Holy Church as it was in the past. Second revelation: the first revelation goal could only be accomplished with the use of force. A hidden army was required. While the New Society of Jesus, the New Jesuits, were known to the world and protected the church directly, an order was needed that focused on returning the entire planet to the protective arms of Mother Church.
Are they also known as the New Jizz?
You know,
not to be mistaken.
Maybe. I don't know. Over the
tough
centuries,
questions, you know,
these are the answers you really need.
Yeah, exactly.
Over the centuries, many of the charges against the original Templar order have become accepted as unfounded, and the order remained dissolved. There seemed to be no need for it.
Unfounded? So they're like the Crusades? Never heard of them.
That's just a rumor.
It was more, it's not our fault. They were heathens.
Oh, I see.
It did happen. It just didn't happen.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Also, anyone who followed His Holiness Clement V were reluctant to admit his infallibility, did not extend to his dealings with the Templars.
Is that the Pope that reestablished
His Holiness Clement V? Yes.
Okay.
He reestablishes the Templars.
Gotcha. Well, gotta do what you gotta do for God, right? That's what they say.
Amen.
He probably came out and said God spoke to him and said, you need to get some religion going on all over the world again.
Jesus.
Yeah, God came down and spoke to him and went, oi, 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 what's all this then?
This is not how I left it. So he reestablishes the new Templar order, and this time they are used to the power of magic.
It's not heresy?
Well, no. First, when magic appears, remember, the Catholic Church comes out and says, it's demons. Don't do it. But as time goes on and magic becomes more researched, more mainstream, it's taught in universities, the Catholic Church comes out and goes, it's a blessing and a miracle. Because the powers of magic can also be used to heal.
Yeah, one of the priests grabs the chair and he flips it around and sits in it cool ways, and everybody's like, yo, the Catholic Church gets it now. They're cool again.
Let me rap at you for a minute.
Hey, kids. Let me rap with you about the magic of Jesus.
You know who was also into goblinization? Jesus Christ.
You know who also had no cap for real? On God? Jesus
in his
Christ.
holy name.
Oh my God. Wow. The founders of the new Templar order searched the entire church for loyal priests who were also powerful magicians. This takes several years to complete and often ends in the Order of Saint Sylvester that the founders of the new Templars chose to use as a smokescreen to hide their activities.
So what did they blame it on?
Well, they're using the Sylvesterines to hide their practitioners of powerful magic.
Oh, okay. So every time that it would come out and they're like, hey, are you guys doing Templar shit? And they're like, no, wait, hang on. Have you seen these guys? They're pretty cool.
We're healing people. Look at these guys.
Yeah, it's all for good. I get you.
With the master of the temple known only to a few, this would be the head leader of the new Templars. The new Templars received orders via angels and quickly embarked on their first mission, the reclamation of the Tuscany Republic.
Where is the Tuscany Republic?
In Italy, Tuscany.
Oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense.
The Tuscany,
reclamation from what though?
Well, it was originally church land.
From sin.
Yeah,
from sin. Easy, I'm pretty sure that there's a name for that. I think it's called crusade. I could be wrong.
Oh, we haven't quite got there yet. Don't worry.
Stop me if you've heard this one before, but I'm pretty sure.
Don't worry.
When you
Don't
go
worry,
to
it's
an
coming.
existing area and say, hey, I'm taking this back for the church.
Hey, homie, I need you to stop drinking that haterade and get in with the crusade.
Oh, shit, he's sitting in the chair backwards. I should probably listen to him.
He's so cool. The Tuscany region had once belonged to the church, like I said, though only for a short time, and the Templars were determined to reclaim it. It was done not through overt military action, but by flooding the Republic with disguised Templars who acted as subversive elements, destabilizing the area. They went full clandestine. These actions then become standard practice for the order of the new Knights Templar: intimidation, assassination, sabotage.
I was gonna say, I'd like to imagine if it's just like they walk up to people on the street and they're like, "Rent's getting pretty high around here, isn't it?" And they're like, "Oh God, it is. We should probably go." Like it's like super mundane sabotage that they're trying to pull off.
Mundane sabotage.
My car battery won't start. Oh, that's bad. You should probably get a new one or leave.
It's
Or
leave. What about my car? This is Tuscany's car now, man. I don't know what to tell you. You're better just cutting your losses.
That's up to the Lord to decide.
I don't know.
No, see, no.
Have you
because
prayed hard
if you
enough on it?
if you go that route, then it's obvious that you're working for the church. You have to make them not know that you're working for the church in order to convince them all to leave it and that it's a good idea to leave. You got to be more subtle than that.
So they use the intimidation, assassination, and sabotage to convince Tuscan officials into rejoining the fold as faithful children of the Pope. When the Tuscan leadership turned to the Vatican for help stopping what they believed to be renegade Catholics.
Oh God,
I don't like the sound of that.
The most undesirable type of Catholic, in my opinion.
The Vatican was more than happy to help, gaining influence at the highest levels of government. Those who opposed this were killed by the Templars. And soon the Tuscany Republic became a puppet state of the Vatican that remains to this day. And that is all the way up to current timeline, too. Still a puppet state of the Vatican. This same song and dance was repeated over the next 2 decades in quite a few other city-states, and the church was able to extend their control to over half of what was once the country of Italy. And that takes us to 2055. After 2055, the Templars begin to expand their focus beyond the city-states to other areas that once served as strong centers of support of the church. This includes most of Europe, as well as various other areas across the world. But the majority of the order is assigned to one of 3 areas. Are you ready?
Aye, aye.
Area 1, Atzlan.
Ooh, exotic.
Area 2, Tir Nanag. And Area 3 is regions of the Middle East, specifically what were once the Crusader kingdoms of Outremer. So, they want all that real estate back.
Well, I mean, it is theirs. God said so.
Mm-hmm.
God wills it. We're gonna put movie quotes in here. God wills it. That's a great movie to watch to get better understanding of what we're talking about right now.
Ooh.
That movie, by the way, is called Kingdom of Heaven.
Only the director's cut, though.
Oh man, set yourself in for a good 3-hour movie.
As I am wont to do.
So you may be asking yourself, hey, why the hell are the Knights Templar going to Atzlan of all places?
I mean, to be honest, it makes sense.
Does it?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of Central Americas and like Mexico area are very Catholic.
Well, they used to be. Remember, in the Sixth World, when we talked about Atzlan, they abolished Christianity.
Oh, I completely forgot about that. I did not remember that.
They chased all the Catholics out, supposedly. Anybody who worships Catholicism was disappeared.
Huh.
Oops.
Fair. Okay, then easy. Why Atzlan? That seems like a crazy place for them to go.
Right? It does. The order is actually very active in Atzlan, as the people there were strongly Catholic for centuries. Many still are, albeit in hiding.
The secret Catholics. You gotta watch out for them.
Remember, persecution of the church in Atzlan began in 2027, culminating in the executive order in 2041, declaring the Roman Catholic Church a revolutionary organization and banning it from Atzlan. So basically, anybody who is Roman Catholic is
A heretic.
Which
is ironic.
A revolutionary, so you're a guerrilla fighter, somebody
Yeah.
that lives out in the jungles.
You're there to destabilize the status quo, as it were.
However, even after making that declaration, this didn't mean millions of faithful Catholics living there suddenly converted to the new state church or stopped believing. It simply drove them to practice their religion in secret,
The irony.
like the early Christians did amongst the Romans.
Or like any other religion had to during the Puritan times, the founding of America.
What correlations we draw.
Oh, who would have thought?
Merely coincidental.
Of course, the loss of influence and the persecution of these devout Catholics is considered intolerable by both the Templars and the new Jesuits. Both organizations work actively throughout the country. Many of these persecuted Catholics have formed into small cells, supporting each other in secret. The New Order Templars work closely with these cells to keep their spirits up, as well as working to link them up and expand the underground network of the faithful. This is the Knights Templar long-term plan to strengthen the underground Catholic movement enough to eventually use it to retake democratic control of their country. Of course, whoever gets elected is going to be Vatican backed, obviously.
Yeah. Well, they need that North American presence, man.
It's not North American, it's Vatican.
Well, no, but I'm saying by going after Azland.
Oh, yeah, that would get them the foothold into being able to go into the Native American lands and the Yukos and the Kos.
And that was all God's land at one point as well, I'm sure.
Amen.
Of course. Did it ever go away in the Kos?
Not in our hearts.
Yep. Every day, Tyler walks out onto his porch with his cup of coffee and just goes, "Another beautiful day in God's country."
The Templars have also, remember, place number 2, have infiltrated Tir Danag. And remember, we talked about this place.
We did.
And what a nightmare it is.
Sounds terrible.
So again, Ireland was once a long bastion of faith and strength for the Catholic Church. Of course, this was harmed by Pope John Paul the Fourth.
John Paul Ringo George.
John Paul the Fourth's denunciation of metahumanity in the aftermath of Vitus and UGE, where he called them all, everybody that was turning into metahumans, such as trolls and orcs, calling them demons.
A very cool, level-headed response.
How Pope-like.
How Pope-like.
However, the real damage came from those who saw the church as a threat to their power. Around the early 2020s, a variety of scandals, many fabricated, were revealed to the Irish people by one Liam O'Connor. Remember him? I'm an elf that came about before elves started to be naturally born, but don't think too hard about that.
Right. Yeah, he was one of the main dudes that founded the tier, right? He was
the main dude. Yeah.
He was the dude. Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm. He would later mastermind the coup of 2034. And the Church of Ireland moved into the religious forefront and became the religion of choice for the non-elven population.
What is like the elf religion? Do they have like a...
They do. They believe in the path of the wheel.
Path of the wheel.
It symbolizes elven journey through life and then rebirth.
Oh,
okay.
I see.
Yes. So that is what they believe in.
Oh, that's cool.
However, the New Templars see this as a loss, just like Aztlan. And the Templars are working hard in the tier, making contacts among the people and destabilizing the rule of the elves. They often work secretly with the Slies traveling to rural areas, because remember, the Templars are using them as a smokescreen. And so what better way to move about in the tier than portraying happy, smiling, we're here to help and heal, but also we're secretly members of a shadowy Vatican organization that is here to try to destabilize your country.
Yeah,
allegedly.
That checks out.
However, unlike Aztlan, The Tier government is aware of the Templars' existence and considers them to be a threat. Even the powerful magicians of the Tier fear and respect the power of the Templars.
So the Tier is smart, is what you're saying.
They know to view them as a credible threat.
Yeah.
Finally, we mentioned the third focal point being the Middle East, more specifically areas relatively near Jerusalem. Those were held for a short time as the Crusader kingdoms. These lands have since been claimed by various indigenous peoples. The small country of Israel claims control of the holy city of Jerusalem. And just as the old Templars found the loss of that city to heathens to be insufferable, so does the new order. The secret master of the new Templars has vowed that they will retake the holy city and the ancient Crusader kingdoms. And the order is fighting much more openly in those areas than they are in Aztlan and Tir Nanog. There are several separations within the order as well. The biggest such division is between knights and sergeants. And this follows the same original standard that you would think that comes from the Crusader times, where they had knights and sergeants. The vanguard and rearguard of every Templar force was made up of knights. They were nobility, which meant their numbers were never large. Their support system was the sergeants, who outnumbered the knights by about 9-1 and come from common, though wealthy families. This same organization is mirrored fairly closely in the modern order. There are still knights and sergeants, and the knights are still much fewer in number. The dividing factor is no longer nobility, however, but magical ability.
Ah, interesting.
All knights are magically active in the Hermetic tradition and tend to lack all but the most rudimentary cybernetic alterations. All knights are also ordained priests. The sergeants, however, make more use of technology and are the Templars' presence in the Matrix in addition to their many other duties. Also, unlike the knights, the sergeants are not required to be priests, though there are priests among their ranks. In addition to the knight-sergeant separation, the order is also subdivided into 4 patronages, each led by a seneschal, a knight who reports directly to the master of the temple. All of the members of a patronage have accepted an archangel as their patron, thus the name, and rely upon them for protection and inspiration as they perform their duties.
Hey Chummer, just a quick aside, if you are enjoying the episode, be sure to rate it if on audio, or if you are on YouTube, give us a like and subscribe as we are trying to reach our 1,000 subs goal. You can also support us over on Patreon at patreon.com/critical_hits. Finally, if you are interested in taking your tabletop gaming to the next level, check out the episode description for an affiliate link to DriveThruRPG. So the next time you're looking to expand your library and want to help support us, drop that link in. And now, back to the show.
The 4 archangels, Raphael, angel of the east and ruler of air, Michael, angel of the south and ruler of fire, Gabriel, angel of the west and ruler of water, and Uriel, angel of the north and ruler of earth.
I'm pretty sure that the last 2's names are supposed to be Leonardo and Donatello.
Thank you.
Thank you for that.
Finally, some honesty.
Clearly, that means that the master of the temple is none other than Master Splinter.
Well, yeah, because the
Obviously.
Templar are a splinter group, you see,
Yeah!
of the Slies. So
yeah. Does that mean that the leader of the Templars is also a rat shaman?
I mean, have we ever seen him?
No, you have no idea who he is or what he looks like.
There we go.
Okay.
So I'm not saying he's not a rat shaman.
I'm not a serial killer.
or a mutant rat physical
He's a devil rat
of some type. Yeah.
He's
just a
rat.
devil rat.
A devil rat that's gained sentience.
I knew it.
These are the mysterious forces.
The Knights Templar are ruled by a devil rat. This just makes sense.
Oh, the irony of it all.
Oh, the irony.
Though the church normally allows only the veneration of Raphael, Michael, and Gabriel, the Templars received special permission to accept Uriel as a patron.
Why is that?
They were given special privilege.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Oh, so just because
They're just like, hey, put this one in there too. And they're like, why? He's like, because I said so. That's why. Oh, all right, fair enough.
So
because I'm the voice of the Lord.
the following are about each of the patronages here. So the Raphaelites, members of the patronage of Raphael, tend to follow the spiritual lead of their patron. One translation of Raphael is God has healed, and the church names him as the angel of healing as well as the angel of science and knowledge. Those knights who enter this patronage tend to be strong in healing magic and are often extremely well versed in magical theory as well. The sergeants of this patronage are commonly skilled at providing matrix support for their brethren and the order in general, and doctors and surgeons are also numerous. Raphaelites can be identified by the use of a magnetic anomaly detector. Part of their initiation into the order is an application of Tagnit nanites to the forehead. When a MAD is used, that's the magnetic anomaly detector. Raphaelites will show a small serpent on the forehead, a symbol commonly associated with their patron archangel.
They're Death Eaters?
I knew it.
Does it move?
No, it does. Well,
When the Lord calls.
Yeah, when the Lord calls.
Hark! What is that sound?
Harry Potter. Clearly, all the Raphaelites are after the boy who lived.
They want to know how. They're interested in medicine.
Jeez. The patronage of Michael is up next. They are focused entirely on combat, and its members are the most skilled warriors in a militant order. This fits as Michael is known as the warrior of God and is often pictured with an unsheathed sword. He is also the angel of the final reckoning. Michaeline knights tend to be adepts, and a few are both magicians and adepts. Their sergeants often act as arms procurers for the order, acquiring both magical and mundane weaponry for use by the Templars. Many Michaeline sergeants infiltrate various security forces and armies around the world, reporting their status back to the order in case the information is ever needed and making contacts that may be useful later. The Michaelines are marked with the same nanites in the same manner as their other brethren, except the symbol is an unsheathed sword pointed down.
I really wanted you to say that it was a slice of pizza.
So desperately.
Actually, it's just the word cowabunga.
They are the party dudes. On top of everything else you've talked about, they're also the party dudes.
They're clearly the party dudes. They're the frat bros.
Yeah.
The mark shouldn't be pizza. It should just be cowabunga. It is. The third patronage is Gabriel. They are in charge of keeping the entire membership of the order in constant communication with their superiors, and with ensuring requests for assistance from field agents are quickly passed on to their backup. Once again, this is in line with their patron archangel, as Gabriel is considered God's chief ambassador to humanity and is also the angel of the Annunciation. Knights of this patronage are commonly skilled in detection magic and are also the most prominent conjurers of the order, using spirits to carry messages or protect messengers. The Gabrielites sergeants act as in the field communication hubs for active teams and are also skilled in the use of the matrix to open and maintain lines of contact, working with their Raphaelite brethren. And the symbol that they carry, the Gabrielites, is it is of a scepter, an item that is commonly pictured with the Archangel Gabriel.
You would think that it would be like a horn or something for communication, right?
Yeah,
Like,
I always thought it was a horn, but it's a
yeah.
scepter, which is weird.
Interesting.
Yeah, right? That brings us to the final patronage, that of Uriel, whose name is often translated Fire of God. He is usually described as the archangel who stands guard at the entrance of Eden with a flaming sword, and is also known as the angel who brought alchemy to earth from heaven. Urielites knights are usually skilled enchanters and produce most of the magical implements used by the order's members during the course of their duties. The sergeants of this order deal mainly with the procurement of various rare magical supplies, traveling all over the world to find what their brethren require to produce magical tools for the order. The symbol that is used to mark the Urielites is an open hand holding a flame.
I mean, it kind of feels like it should just be like a $sign or something, right? Like the new yen symbol, like
trying to get all these reagents, right? You know what that means? All Urielites actually are.
Amazon.
They're gold farmers.
Oh, I was gonna say like crypto bros, but yeah,
also crypto bros. Yeah, same thing.
Blockchain for the Lord.
Buy these NFTs for the Lord.
You want to be your own boss?
They're non-fungible testaments. Easy.
Oh, wow.
That's good.
Dang,
dude.
So the order's view of hermetic magic is slightly different than the norm. It is effectively its own school of magic, incorporating Christian traditions from a variety of sources. Some of them date back all the way to the 1st century. All incantations are spoken in Latin.
Of course they are.
Right? Because why not?
I mean, if you think about it, it's actually kind of an ingenious way to do it because unless your opponent speaks Latin, they don't know what spell you're trying to cast.
This little tidbit of information here is the Templars are aware the magic they perform is not miraculous in nature. It is a God-given ability. And so the casting of spells always begins with an admission of per Christium Dominum Nostrum, roughly translated as through Christ our Lord.
Oh my God.
This is followed by the appropriate incantation for whatever spell they are casting.
So it's like they always have to preface the spell they're about to cast with
through Christ our Lord. Amen. Okay. You know who would make a great candidate for the Knights, the new order of the Knights Templar? Who's from a particular anime? Alexander Anderson.
Yeah, Father Anderson. That's what I was gonna say. Amen. He kicks ass for the Lord, dude.
He does.
If there's anybody out there who kicked ass for the Lord, it was that guy.
It was definitely that guy.
Oh man,
he was all about his monster hunting. One of my favorite characters from anime, I dare say.
One of the funniest jokes that I think Team 4-Star ever put into their Abridged series was the first appearance of Father Anderson in Hellsing Abridged. Is him speak talking Sheamus's entrance music from WWE, which killed me. It's so funny.
It was so good, wasn't it?
It's so good.
Listeners, if you haven't watched that, I can recommend it. It is very funny.
I have not seen this.
Oh my God.
The pictures of Father Anderson alone are making me want to see this very badly.
Oh, dude, Father Anderson is wild, man.
You absolutely need to be introduced.
Speaking of
like my type of unhinged.
Yeah, speaking of your preference for religious zealotry characters, let me introduce you to Father Anderson.
I mean,
Once
all
again,
right.
he kicks ass for the Lord.
For the Lord. Oh my
For
god, these
the
pictures would make you think the opposite. But that's okay. I'm curious.
Yeah, you'll have to check them out in both the regular. Definitely go for the Hellsing Ultimate
Okay.
anime and check out Hellsing Abridged.
Helsing's a good time.
Hellsing is a good time. Can confirm. But back to the Templars.
And is also technically on topic because it does feature shadowy organization Vatican members. So
Yes, it does.
We're
See,
we're ties together.
We're topical here. We're topical. We told you we're giving you the juicy topical facts
And lore.
and juicy lore. Always.
Everything's just slightly damp
Amen.
around us at all times.
True.
Moist.
And how?
Anyway, back to the new Templar order. The conjuration of angels is much more involved. It takes hours of chanting prayers with a consecrated circle to call forth an angel. Knights often find it easier to call angels who serve their archangelic patron, and more difficult to call those of the opposing angelic patronage. When the angel does arrive, its appearance is determined by the archangel it serves. Angels of Michael appear with large flaming wings, their eyes pits of smoldering fire. Angels of Raphael appear in flowing white robes, which are constantly in motion, and with long blonde hair flowing in an invisible breeze. Angels of Uriel arrive in plain brown habits, their wings protruding from the back, and they always bear a flaming blade. The angels of Gabriel bear a scepter, and their heavenly robes seem to flow from their heads to their feet in one continuous loop. Of course, these angels are believed to be sent by the patron archangel to aid his servants, and so they are always treated with great respect. Templars do not command these angels, but instead request their aid. The result is the same as the effect produced by standard hermetics dealing with spirits, but the method and mindset of the magician is quite different. The few Templars skilled and pious enough to invoke a great form angel are blessed with the appearance of what is believed to be one of the personal servitors of the patron archangel.
So wait, like people aren't like summoning.
Instead of summoning spirits, they're summoning angels.
Oh, but they're just taking the form of angels. They're not actually.
Well, they're taking the form. They might
allegedly.
They might be more akin to elementals. Like, for instance, we're saying the archangel Michael appears with flaming wings and their eyes are pits of smoldering fire. That could be a fire elemental.
I like to imagine that they're all just servants of the big great evil, and they're just pretending to be angels. Ooh. And the Knights Templar are just an organization being manipulated from beyond the veil.
It could be that. That's pretty out there. It's more likely that their faith and belief is so strong that they're conjuring these elementals, and the elementals are taking on these forms.
You're right, Easy. Everything you've ever told me about Shadowrun, my theory is the one that's pretty out there. That's fair. That's valid.
Hey, I'm not saying that the leader isn't a devil rat in disguise, okay?
Hey, we've never seen him.
Never seen him.
We've never seen him.
Never seen him.
No, that would make sense. It's basically just communion with spirits the same way that any other shaman would do it, but
they're hermetic mages.
Seen through the guise of an angel because of their faith. Because of faith,
yeah.
Right.
Yes, and they're hermetic mages, so they'd be summoning. Most hermetics, remember, that tradition is the one that summons the elementals.
Right.
Wind, water, earth, fire, and so
the
happens
Captain Planet mages. Yep.
Yes.
And heart.
It just so happens that the archangels also represent those elements. And so when they conjure these great spirits, they're most likely powerful elementals just because of their belief and faith from the caster. They're taking on these other appearances.
It's the way that they interpret them.
Yeah, the other option would be that they're summoning these spirit forms and they're not actually elementals, but they're other planar beings that could be free spirits or things like that.
That could be working from beyond the veil with the big
That
bad
one
evil
is
guys. That's
more
all I'm
likely.
saying.
Yes.
That's all
Okay.
I'm saying.
Fine. I'll concede that point. Big bad evil juicy.
Big bad evil juicy. The big bad juicy guy. You know what I'm saying?
Big bad juicy evil.
We like to say that the juice is loose.
It sure is.
In addition to its status as a militant order, the Order of the Templars also acts as an initiatory group for its member knights. As knights progress in knowledge and, just as important, show themselves to be devout and righteous servants of God, they are granted new and greater ways to use their power. These lessons vary among the patronages, and what a Michaeline learns upon becoming an initiate may not be learned by a Raphaelite for many years after his initiation. None of the patronages will ever teach the technique of possession, however, as that is the domain of demonic forces.
That checks out.
The equipment used by the new Templars is the best they can buy, and with their connections around the world, that's very good. All operatives in the field wear body armor of various types and carry at least a pistol and a sharp knife. They are also issued contact lenses with microscopic mads in them, which are weak and have a short range, but are good enough to see the target marks of other Templars. Many knights carry medieval broadswords as a nod to their heritage, especially the Michaelines, and it is not uncommon for the sword to serve as a weapon focus as well.
Do the Aurelians, whatever we're calling them, Urelians, do they carry like a thing of lighter fluid and a match with them so they can light theirs on fire after they draw them and make it look all cool?
Maybe, or maybe it's mechanical in nature where they just have to press a button and it ignites the sword.
Like a real Azrael situation.
Yes, because in the sixth world, why not?
Yeah, no, that's very fair.
The sergeants are issued a variety of gear depending on their patronage and duties. In the field, they wear armor like the knights, but rarely carry swords. Instead, they seem to prefer assault rifles and grenades, depending on the situation.
Holy hand grenades?
Probably holy hand grenades of Antioch.
Mm-hmm. Not 4, not 5. That's way too long.
5 is right up.
5 is right out.
Like the knights, though, they often have some magical augmentation, though the higher percentage of cyberware in use by the sergeants makes magic less necessary overall. The most common magical additions among sergeants are quickened spells that speed up reaction time.
I mean, that seems pretty common across the board as far as cyberware is concerned, to be honest. Just assume at this point that everybody in the sixth world except for me has enhanced reflexes.
The Order of the Temple, as an initiate group, claims at least 600 members worldwide. And these are just the knights, not the sergeants. So they at least have 600 initiate members. The strictures they must adhere to is belief. You have to be Roman Catholic. You have to have fraternity.
We talked about that. Yep, we know which house they go to.
Limited membership, meaning awakened Roman Catholic priests only may petition to join the Order of the Temple.
See, I was wondering if they had to be priests first and then become knights, or if they become a knight and then through the process become a priest. But
well, you'd have to be awakened first, so you have to have magical talent,
right.
Then you would go through the priesthood, and then you would become a knight.
Then you would become a knight. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Order of operations is key.
It keeps it all straight, right?
Yeah. I'm glad to know that there's still structure in our secret societies. All right,
What are secret societies without structure?
I'm saying.
If anything, through all the different
That's just
patronages that they
society.
have, they've got logistics down.
Yeah.
You're also
Very true.
you're also backed by the largest and oldest corporation in history, the Catholic Church.
That's also true.
The Order of the Temple Initiates also have to do an oath, which is their religious vows. They must also subscribe to obedience to the order, sacrifice, and secrecy. You don't have to pay any dues to the order because their resources are listed as luxury, which is the highest you can have for any initiate group.
Checks out. I thought you were going to say their resources are listed as infinite, and that also would be appropriate.
The customs for the Order of the Temple, as described above, metamagical skills are taught in different orders in each patronage, but they focus on centering and quickening, tend to be taught early. The group never teaches possession. In addition, aspected mages are becoming more common, especially elementalists of fire and earth in the patronages of Michael and Uriel, respectively. So you're getting those fire and earth mages. All they need is what, wind, water, and heart, and then they can finally summon Captain Planet.
Finally.
Well, I thought that was just the Pope. Isn't the Pope Captain Planet in this allegory?
He's not very blue, so
Dabu dee dabu die.
yeah, I don't know how.
Amen.
You can't forget your amens.
Yes. Double-D, double-die, amen.
No, but the Pope does have a sick green mullet, so he's mostly there anyway. I feel like we just give it to him.
He also sits backwards, sits on the chair backwards and tells the youths all about recycling.
Yeah, recycling that old religion for this cool new one that he's offering.
So we've already put out one idea of who we think the shadowy overlord leader is. That's just it's 3 devil rats in a trench coat.
Right. No, it's 3 devil rats and it's 3 devil rats and a pope hat. Easy.
Ah, dang it. That's wrong. It's 3 devil rats and a pope hat with a robe that says juicy on the back.
It says juicy on the butt.
But what else do you think the mysterious leader, or who else do you think the mysterious leader could be?
Anton LaVey.
Wow. we're just going there, huh?
Why not?
Just throwing it out.
Yeah.
Would
You
you
can't
like
tell me it's not Anton LaVey.
Would you like to provide the juicy tidbit of lore to our listeners in case they are not aware of who this individual is?
Sure, yeah. If you're not familiar with Anton LaVey, he's basically the figurehead of modern day Satanism.
That is correct.
Also known as LaVeyanism. But yeah, I would enjoy the irony of Anton LaVey being the head of
He's
of
secretly
the Knights Templar.
He's secretly a Roman Catholic at heart.
My God, he loved Jesus the whole time. It's all been a lie.
I think that it could be a so far unnamed immortal elf.
Why an elf though? Just for the longevity of it?
Yes,
or?
For the longevity, knowing where all the original like artifacts have been stored.
Right. Okay.
What the Crusades would have originally been about, to collect these special artifacts, and specifically targeting both the tier and the Middle East with the old Crusader kingdoms. I feel like it has strong running for an unnamed immortal elf just stirring the pot.
That's fair. I mean, you get bored with eternity. You got to find something to keep yourself entertained with, right?
Every once in a while, you just poke the beehive of the other immortals.
Yeah. Just to see what's going on.
Yeah, why not?
Tyler, do you have a theory of who's behind the Knights Templar?
I can't get over the headcanon of either being a rat.
Three double rats and a pope hat?
I can't get Three Devil Rats and a Pope Hat sounds like an amazing. I don't know for what, a name for something, but it's
That's my ska band. Three Devil Rats and a Pope Hat.
3 devil rats and a Pope Hat.
We're very
It's-
trombone heavy.
I feel like that's appropriate for a ska band in the Sixth World.
yeah. Honestly, yeah. I was gonna say I'm not gonna make like a guess because I want this so badly to be real.
Uh-huh.
The Three Devil Rats and a Pope Hat.
The same.
Yeah, that's fair. I would also accept if it's not Three Devil Rats and a Pope Hat. I would also accept a as of yet unknown dragon and a Pope Hat.
Ooh.
You know, I wouldn't put it past Loflear to pull some strings.
See,
it always comes back to Loflear though, man. That's the thing. Like, we need another another evil dragon in the Sixth World. Like, it always comes back to Loflear.
There is one. We just they haven't done a lot with him. He's just sitting in the Pacific Theater having it out with Ryumio.
Well, then
trying to control the Ring of Fire.
Accuse him of more stuff.
It's hard to. Like, Lung is very territorial and he moves slowly. Whereas Loflear, Loflear is basically all over the place. But yeah, like I got it. Lung, catch breath.
It's Loflear just he feels like he almost has his dragon fingers in too many pies, man.
Well, it's because he's the head of a corporation, and so he jet sets and goes a lot of places.
Right.
So it makes sense. I'm just saying it's a possibility.
Entrepreneur, megalomaniac, juicy fact master.
Oh yes, also megalomaniac, juicy fact master. Yeah, he fits the bill.
He fits the bill.
Using religious zealotry to his own ends, why not?
Hey, if the Pope Hat fits, man.
It probably does. He probably gifted that Pope Hat.
And it would also check out because since he's focused and based mainly out of working in Europe anyway, having a priority to go after the tier would make a lot of sense.
Yep, and the other places in Europe too.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, it just fits.
The Dragon Pope Hat fits, man.
Snugly around the head. That's all I've got for you on the Order of the Knights Templar. What do you think? What's your hot takes?
They sound like the Knights Templar.
Yeah, honestly, one of the more straightforward groups.
That's still a conspiracy mystery group that's not in the limelight of the mainstream Sixth World. Like, they even fly under a lot of Shadowrunner radar.
But like, they're like, you know what they're trying to do. Like a lot of the other groups, like the Black Lodge.
Yeah.
You don't know what the Black Lodge actually wants. They're just doing stuff all the time is kind of what it feels like. They're keeping busy. You know, like
I feel like the Black Lodge, we're going for a 40K reference here. The Black Lodge is just Zinch. They have plans within plans within plans that don't go anywhere.
Yeah,
they don't go anywhere.
But then the problem is
the
first plan fails, and then they don't know what to do because all of subsequent plans were based on that plan succeeding. So then they just go back to the shadows again, and But
the most Zinchian thing is for a plan to have plans within plans, but then when you start doing the plan doesn't go as planned, which is all part of the plan.
Exactly. Yes, it's all circular.
Change is inevitable.
All these squares make a circle.
Yeah, they're the Knights Templar. Like, they did a cool job interpreting them. I like the speaking to the angels as spirit mediums, but it's probably definitely just elementals. But they're like, oh, they're glorious.
Yeah, no, I like the breakdown of the different patronages for the different sects.
Yeah,
that's a cool take. But yeah, I agree. They're no Ordo Maximus.
They are not. That's for sure.
Secret Vampire Cabal. Oh, okay.
What are they doing? They don't know, but they're doing it.
That's also true. Here's my other follow-up to this too. Since this is another shadowy organization that we've introduced, and we've now got the Black Lodge, the Order, the Knights Templar, we have the Knights Templar, the Ordo Maximus, and the Black Lodge.
Have we not done an episode about the Illuminati? Is
The Illuminati is the Black Lodge.
Oh, that is the Black Lodge.
That is
Okay,
the Black
okay,
Lodge. They are
okay.
the Illuminati, or they control the
Right.
Illuminati.
Okay,
So,
that's right.
of these three so far, how would we
Uh-huh.
power rank them from worst to not so bad? I mean, there's
Oh,
only three so far, but
wait, you mean like power rank them in terms of like their competency as a shadowy secret organization? Is that what we're doing?
or how threatening we see them in the sixth world,
Oh,
based off
okay.
what they're trying to
Oh,
do.
easy. That's easy.
Okay, what is your threat analysis here?
Knights Templar top tier, Ordo Maximus, Black Lodge at the bottom. They don't know what the fuck they're doing, dude.
But they're everywhere.
And they're planning for something. Just you wait one
We just
day
can't
or not.
comprehend it.
Who knows? That would be mine. I think that the Templar are probably the most efficient at what they're trying to do. Ordo Maximus kind of is just like vampires are cool, right? You're like, yeah, man. I played Masquerade back in high school too. I'm down with this. And then Black Lodge is, as we mentioned, 60 old guys in robes sitting around trying to figure out what to do with their weekends.
Aside from hosting their eyes wide shut parties.
Yes, of course.
Yes, of course. Priorities.
Yeah.
Priorities abound.
Yes.
It's quite.
The bi-daily orgy.
I'm gonna get ahead of you and say that I can't wrap my head around all the different layers of shadowy organizations.
All right.
My problem is that I'll hear about them, and then in my head I'm like, what would I write this to look like? Like how just batshit insane would this be every single time?
I gotta put Ordo Maximus at the top just for the scary shit that they're trying to accomplish.
That's fair. I mean, I feel like the thing though is it's like Ordo's definitely the scariest from a hypothetical standpoint, because if they win, theirs is probably the worst. But in terms of like actual efficiency of what they do, I still think the Templars are at the top.
Oh yeah, the Knights Templar have logistics down.
Yeah.
Like,
well, they've got a whole sect for it.
Yeah, they're set and they know what they're trying to accomplish and do. So,
and in no rush either. Like that's the other thing too, is they're like, we'll take 60 years if that's what it takes.
We're in it for the long haul. Rome wasn't built in a day.
No, but we overthrew it in one.
Oh, big juicy facts, everybody.
Jesus, 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 Jesus.
It took us how many episodes to finally get a Jesus chant in?
How many? 50 episodes in?
Just enough.
All you had to do was talk about the Templars.
All I'd do is bring up the Knights Templar.
Yeah, that's all it takes.
But yeah, I would do Ordo Maximus, then the Templars, and then I agree, Black Lodge has no idea what they're actually doing.
I'm glad that we're on the same page of the Black Lodge is like ultimately toothless as a shadowy organization.
I also feel like they're trying to be so secretive that they're working against themselves.
Yeah, they're keeping secrets from each other. Nobody in the Black Lodge knows what anybody else in the Black Lodge does.
That's what makes them so mysterious.
It's true. You know what? I will give them the award for most secretive shadow organization to their own detriment.
Yes, that's fair. I agree with this. Well, valued listener, you'll have to let us know what you think. Give us your power rankings for the Sixth World Shadow organizations that we have talked about thus far. What do you think of the Knights Templar, other than, my God, they're very organized and they know what they're doing? They're the first secret organization that we've really talked about that has a direct plan and they're putting it into action. Final thoughts? Anything, you guys? Anything?
Not particularly. I mean, I think that it's a cool adaptation of, a pre-existing setting, but making it to where like the things that previously were associated to it as being out or otherworldly or non-plausible are able to be tied in directly with more actual Sixth World activity, again, like the angels as elementals thing that we talked about. So I am always impressed with their ability to kind of tie that stuff together and make it justified within the setting itself. So I think they did a cool job with them. I think I think Sixth World Templars are pretty dope, conceptually.
Conceptually, yes. Their overall plan gonna take a while, but conceptually very interesting. Tyler, any final thoughts?
I continue to be
Mystified.
astounded. Well, no, well, like to y'all's point, whoever writes like Shadowrun lore has a vast interest in like world history.
Oh yeah,
Which I think is really shows, and just like you were saying, adapting that in a way that makes the transition between like real world history to cyberpunk like a lot more cyber and like magic punk, you know, to be a lot more seamless than other creators would do. So it's pretty awesome.
I do have to give it up to the original creators of Shadowrun in interweaving a lot of history into the Sixth World to make it feel more alive.
Right.
So bravo to them, and I really wish that it would continue into their later editions, but I feel like 5th and 6th edition kind of hasn't done that.
And Catalyst, hire Easy to write new lore for you.
Oh,
he
God.
is available and willing.
Okay, let's not take that too seriously.
He comes cheap, guys. He's
Jeez.
a pittance.
Pittance works for food.
And sweet lore.
And sweet lore. Yes. Delicious, juicy lore, you guys.
Will work for juice, I believe is what his sign says.
Let loose my juice.
Yes, let loose my juice is now my slogan that I'm going to put up over my wall. Thanks.
Oh, man.
Well, guys, thank you so much for coming along on this journey once again for some wonderful Sixth World Shadowrun lore. I hope you have enjoyed it. We've enjoyed bringing it to you. And as always, you guys, we will catch you in the next one.
The Topps Company Inc. has sole ownership of the names, logo, artwork, marks, photographs, sound, audio, video, and/or any proprietary materials used in connection with the game Shadowrun. The Topps Company Inc. is granted permission to Critical Hits to use such names, logos, artwork, photographs, sound, audio, video, and/or any proprietary materials for promotional and informational purposes on its website, but does not endorse and is not affiliated with Critical Hits in any official capacity whatsoever.